Hey everybody, we're on day 22, and we're in Mark chapter 7 today, verses 1 through 23, and it's all about, if you have titles in your Bible, it says clean and unclean. Basically what happens is some Pharisees and teachers of the law come to Jesus, and they see that his disciples are eating what's considered unclean or unwashed. Uh, and so they get up on Jesus' case about all this stuff. And then, this is how Jesus replies. He says, Isaiah was right when he prophesied, I'm reading it verse 6, about you hypocrites, as it is written, these people honor me with their lips, but with their hearts they are far from me. They worship me in vain. Their teachings are about rules taught by men. You have to let go of the commands of God. You have let go of the commands of God and are holding on to the traditions of men. Think about that for a second. Think about all the different traditions that we observe as part of our faith, or maybe even our faith family. What makes them important? I mean, think about the simple things like Christmas. You put up a Christmas tree. What makes it important for me? Because it's got all the ornaments that I grew up with putting on a Christmas tree. Where do we learn these things? How do we continue to observe them? Are we going to pass them down to our children? And then the question really comes, how many of these traditions are outwardly focused, where others can see, compared to inwardly focused, where only God can see? Why do we follow certain commandments and disregard others? Why do we put emphasis on some and not on others? I mean, Jesus said he did not come to get rid of the law, but to fulfill it, right? It's all about how we live in the kingdom, how we live as one of Jesus' followers. I think it's so interesting that Jesus draws us back to words of Isaiah. He's like, this is nothing new, guys. Look, even in Isaiah's time, people were listening. They were doing good lip service, but they weren't really living it out. Or what they were living out was really more or less for the benefit of themselves, to look good. If you look at verse 20, Jesus says this. He went on, what comes out of a man is what makes him unclean. For from within, out of men's hearts come evil thoughts, sexual immorality, theft, murder, adultery, greed, malice, deceit, lewdness, envy, slander, arrogance, and folly. All these evils come from inside and make a man unclean. The fact of the matter is, we need God to be working on our hearts, right? We need Jesus to step into our lives daily and remind us of the sacrifice he made, of how he's fulfilled the law. And while we no longer have to live up to it to be in that relationship with God, it is important. It's worth paying attention to. It changes the way we live with other people. And most of all, it reflects, when we're following it, when we're walking with Jesus, it reflects what it means to us to know we are saved. Tough words today. But there's a lot of things we do that we do just for the sake of doing. My question is to have you think through, what are the things you're doing that might be holding other people back from hearing the gospel? Good stuff today from Mark. We'll see you guys later.